Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It is your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing. Today, we are discussing a rare and exotic model launched in 1999, coinciding with the 30th anniversary of the Apollo 11 moon mission. This is a watch that is part of a series launched in the mid-80s that unconventionally combines the Moonwatch caliber and the Moonwatch case with a coaxial moon phase date complication. So this is the Omega Speedmaster Professional Moonwatch Moon Phase. And yes, it is a Speedmaster Professional in white gold with triple complication. So it's 42 millimeters in diameter in a Moonwatch case. It's 14.6 millimeters thick from lug tip to lug tip, 47.9 millimeters with a 20 millimeter spacing between the lugs. Now we'll throw the watch on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference. You can see it wears nicely, but it's a big watch. The Moonwatch always has been, and I would recommend this watch even on a strap for a wrist no smaller than 15 centimeters circumference. It has a dramatic overhang to the bezel, so it will hang up on some tight dress cuffs, so you're probably going to want to wear this one only with jacket sleeves. A shirt will not ride up and over this, not universally, but the jacket will be just fine. High-grade strap, you can see large rectangular scale alligator leather, bolstered to give it some thickness and volume. We've got a sheer cut side, a monotone stitch, semi-gloss. On the underside, calfskin, a brand new Omega factory strap. We have a matching white gold folding clasp. This is before the twin triggers. This is a snap shut friction fit, but it still has the system that tucks the strap underneath and crimps it. So when this is sized and closed, the strap sits underneath the clasp body and the strap itself, so there's no need for minder loops. It makes for a very clean look when the watch is sized up and strapped on your wrist. Now this is a Moonwatch case, and you can see it's in what's known as gray gold, which is a white gold that's white all the way through and never needs to be rhodium plated. It's the good stuff. It's what JLC, Rolex, Patek, Grubel use, and you can see it's in use here. Now we have the sheer guard profile, characteristic of the Moonwatch cases, and then we have a dramatically boxed and cambered sapphire, and it is a sapphire. It's domed enough that it looks almost like the Hesalite thermoplastic, but it is sapphire. And then we have a aluminum anodized tachymeter scale, which can be used with the chronograph to gauge the speed of something moving fairly fast, such as a race car over a kilometer. It is a Speedmaster Professional, and you can see it says so on the dial. That may be a little counterintuitive, considering it's a bit of a romantic complication, not a practical one, but all the same, the Speedy Pros have come with moon phase and date, and this is one of those. You can see the dial is a sort of a matte or opaline and sunburst metallic. We've got different types of finish. We have opaline on the scales of these sub-registers, and then we have concentric patterns inboard, and then we have a satin finish on the primary dial with faceted and polished applique individual indices upscale, a lot more premium than the printed features of a standard Moonwatch dial. We have blued hands. We'll do a quick loom shot here. 1999 was after the Omega transition from tritium to luminova, so this is an original luminova dial. And we have the combination of a chronograph with a radial pointer-style date and a moon phase, so it is a triple complication. Flip it all over, you can see on the back, it even boasts that it is part of the famous Moonwatch family. And indeed, this watch, its standard Speedy Pro and their pre-moon forebears did fly with NASA astronauts and more, including to the moon. Of course, you have the seahorse on the back. People always ask about this. Why on a Speedmaster? It's because back in 1957, the first Speedmaster, being a water-resistant watch, was by default part of the Seamaster family, because Omega still offered non-water-resistant watches at the time, and the Seahorse was your assurance of at least some water resistance, and by tradition, that has remained on the case backs. Of course, it still has the Moonwatch base. It is a La Manna base, but this is the 1866 caliber, not the 1861 you find in a Moonwatch. So the 1866 is still a manual winder with a 48-hour power reserve and a 3 Hz beat rate. It pivots on 18 jewels. It's got a combination of a lateral clutch and a cam function cycler. But what really sets it apart is that it also has a complication module on the top that bears the pointer-style date and the moon phase, and impressively, for a fairly simple chronograph. It has a semi-instantaneous jumping minute, which you can see in action right there. Back in its day, it would have been 50 meters water resistant, but this now qualifies as a full-blown vintage watch, so I recommend you not submerge it. A very collectible, short-term production model that represents one of the rarest subfamilies of Speedmaster. There are a hell of a lot of Moonwatches out there, and a hell of a lot of speedy reduced automatics, but the Moonwatch Moonphase is very special and very scarce, and this, one of the most scarce from that series. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.